You ready to go for a walk? Huh? You ready to go for a walk? Of course. I'm always ready to go for a walk. So, we'll head down to the river, see what's happening with the boat, make sure everything's okay down there. What do we got here? Bluebells. Oh my goodness. Such beautiful things along our path. The path is strewn with some beautiful things. How did I get so lucky? Oh, we have bunchberries there. And star flowers. Oh my. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, this is the first bridge, if you can call it that. It needs some work, obviously, but it still works. Now the second bridge is over the creek. That last bridge was just over a wet area. This one, Bill and I built this in, let's see, it was about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, over this creek, which is pretty wide, 50 feet wide anyway, but it's all filled in with this grass except for the middle. And that's the remnants of the old bridge. It was like the Brooklyn Bridge in the way it was shaped. So we'll head down. And over here, we have a beautiful flower. It's called wintergreen. And here we had a tree that fell over. It was maybe 28 inches in diameter. I've cut it. Hopefully I can drag it to the mill before it gets bad. And this is typical of the white spruces here. 100 feet tall, more than 2 feet in diameter. Wow. Well, now we're about halfway to the river, coming up onto the third bridge, which of course also needs some repair, but I can still drive over it with the four-wheeler. Oh, it's about 2.5 feet 2.5 feet down there. To the ditch. No water runs through there anymore. More high bush cranberry. Gonna have lots of cranberries this year. Well, we're about 2/3 of the way to the river now. Here we have a tree that fell over maybe 3 years ago. It was probably around 100 feet tall. It's well over 2 feet in diameter and worth certainly well over $1,000 in McGrath, sawn up into lumber. Further up here we have a nice little birch forest. Trees are about 70 years old. Kind of same age as I am and Mr. Z in doggy years. Well, so now we're almost down to the river. This is where I usually park my boat, but as you can see, the water level is way down. Can't get the boat up in here even. Did rain a couple of days ago, but it wasn't much. Have to make sure my boat doesn't get jammed up on the shore and stuff like that. I have to come down here every couple of days to make sure everything's all right. There were a couple of times when the boat drifted off. One time, the rope was cut by porcupine. It was a sisal rope, organic. It decided it wanted to eat that. So the boat went floating downriver. I had to go retrieve it with the canoe, way downriver. Another time the bank caved in where I had my boat tied and it floated off, ended up 12 miles downriver. Brett spotted it from his airplane. So here we are, down at the Kuskokwim. The muddy old Kuskokwim. Boat looks okay. I'll have to push it out so it doesn't get stranded on this mud when it drops down a little bit. I think we're going to have some sunny weather for a week. The Kuskokwim River. It's about a quarter mile wide right here. About the same width as the Mississippi, where it flows through Minneapolis. Not a single bridge crosses it in its 700-mile journey to the ocean, to the Bering Sea. Not a single person lives up that way for at least 40 miles. And downriver, there are no permanent dwellings for 60 miles. Sometimes I can't even get down in here because that sandbar is between the shore and the other side, and water gets so shallow over here that can't get the boat out, so I have to park it all the way down at the other end where there's enough deep water. I will probably have to move it here in about 2 days. What we've got here is a moose track. It's a mama moose and a little baby moose. I saw mama and 2 babies on the other side of the river a couple of days ago. This is about the time of year they've started to drop their calves. Come on. Come on. Poor Mr. Z, almost deaf. Can you get up that bank? Come on. He's getting old and hard for him to get up the bank. Oh, he did though. That's a good dog. Way back there is Limestone Mountain. Looks like the snow is all gone. Mr. Z cooling off. Out in the sun it's probably 75, 80 degrees. He doesn't like heat much. He looks for the last patch of snow in May to lie down in. Well, we're almost back home from the river now. The old four-wheeler. The greenhouse and garden. brush cutter, and the lake back there. Little wood pile under here. Mr. Z's house. Gonna have to fix that sign up on the peak there that says Mr. Z. You can hardly see it now. You're such a good dog. Oh yeah. He's such a good puppy dog. Oops, camera just fell. All right, so there it is, the lake in all its glory. Fire pit. It's an oxbow lake, 2.5 miles long. Goes around that point to the right way down there. Another, mile and a half, more than that even. It was cut off from the main part of the Kuskokwim River, I'm guessing at least 600 years ago. It's a eutrophic lake. Lots of weeds and lots of dragonflies. Lots of fish. Well, it looks like we have the roses coming out. My goodness. Wild roses. This place is magic.